a disclaimer before the following podcast. There will be some outlandish, blasphemous, the most ridiculous things that are going to be said ever on the Triple Take history on this episode. Welcome to the Triple Take. I'm Manny.
I'm Frank.
I gotta edit everything. Joseph.
And today, we have the most controversial guest ever to be on this show. He has been mentioned before multiple times on this podcast. Jose is finally making his debut in the Triple Take canon verse.
Hello, guys. I'm Jose.
I don't love him, but I appreciate him.
First, let me just say this. We agree on some things, but there are some things that this man says that I just need to be documented.
Some is calling it is not the word for it. Some
One thing.
More like 99% they disagree.
We're just gonna we're gonna ramble. We're gonna ramble here.
No, you gotta preface it. Today we find out who really sits on the throne of lies.
Oh, 100%. This guy's been sitting on it since he was born. He came out the womb with a chair.
Says the guy with the chair. You got the shirt.
What do you mean? You bought it for me. That's not mine.
Because you sit on the throne lies.
So the first thing I want to bring into this is this guy's take on the Joker, which I'll allow you to explain and be very, very specific.
You gotta specify which Joker you're talking about.
I'm talking about the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, the first one.
The movie.
The first one. We don't talk about the second one. Lady Gaga ruined it.
I don't know. I never watched it. Never had an interest.
Oh, you want to keep the... We can start. I'm ready.
Brother, Lady Gaga was the best part of the movie.
Did you actually watch it?
I watched like 3% of it.
3%? That's like 3 minutes.
Brother, it was just as boring as the first one. What do you want me to tell you?
Okay, so explain. Why is the first one, in your opinion, the worst movie?
Brother, why isn't it? It's so boring. It has nothing to do with the Joker. It's not even the Joker. There's nothing to that movie. It's just a regular guy with a laughing disorder.
Okay.
That's all you get. It's like if you go to the movies, you watch this trailer, and it doesn't have the name Joker. It just says some bullshit like unstable. You gonna go watch it?
Yes.
Bullshit. You only saying that because you already seen it and you said Joker.
First off, and when it comes to that movie specifically, you have to be open to that, like almost opening up the entire origin story of the Joker, of what he started. It's a literally a play on why he became the bad guy.
Wait. So he doesn't like the movie. Do you like the movie?
Oh, I love the movie.
Okay, just wanted to confirm that.
I love the movie.
Yeah, complete opposite stance.
Okay, just making sure.
No, I'm already been a part of this conversation, so I already know what's going on.
Because from what I understood, people just don't like watching movies about mental health issues.
Exactly, bro.
It's not even that. You're saying over their origin. What origin is that? That's not even the origin of the Joker. It's just the guy with a laughing disorder who gets bullied.
But isn't that just a take on it?
No.
It's just a take.
Yeah, it's just a take on it. I mean,
a terrible take.
I'm just saying this right now. I agree with Manny, but I can understand what he's saying when he thinks it's boring when you don't like things like that.
And we're gonna base this off of the fact that this guy likes comedies and action that literally is from the jump. This man's favorite MCU movies are the Guardians of the Galaxy. Fast pace, action comedy. He does not like a slow burn. He cannot say it's the worst movie ever if you just don't like a slow burn.
Is there any slow burn movies you like that are slow?
Damn, I have to think about it.
Well, you think about it. I'm going to continue on with my point.
But there's a lot. There's like movies like what's the one with Professor X that he's bad. He's like crazy.
Oh, Split?
There's Split, but not that one. What was it? Glass?
Oh, yeah.
I liked
one with
it.
Samuel Jackson?
Yeah, and then you had that's the first one? Or was that the...
No, well, technically it's a part of the Unbreakable.
All three, right?
Yeah, because it's Unbreakable with Bruce Willis. Then it's the...
Wait, Unbreakable's a part of that?
Yeah, because he comes out in Glass.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like that one's
I've never
very
seen
slow.
those other ones. I didn't know they were tied in together.
M.
That's
Night
crazy. Now I
Shyamalan
gotta watch
is-
it. I didn't know that. I love Unbreakable.
Hey, just all you gotta know is comic book stories are true.
Oh, that's a comic book?
No, it's how the movie works in Glass.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's a slow movie, but I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Like it doesn't necessarily have to be thing. You know, like the Titanic is boring and girly and all that. I like the Titanic, and that's slow. You got no action, no.
Oh, yeah, he does like the Titanic. I
Near,
forgot about that.
far, wherever you are, your
Like if the
opinions are
movie's
questionable.
entertaining enough, I don't care how slow it is, as long as it's entertaining. The Joker, nothing.
You don't like to see the
Brother-
literal breakdown of a character. The literal breakdown of a character. It's literally it's what makes him a bad guy. It's not. I understand it's not the Joker you wanted.
No,
but
but
I can see your vein.
you literally, I
Every
know what
single
you
time.
wanted. You went into that movie thinking, okay, this is gonna be him straight up just killing people, playing tricks on people, and at the end of the movie, more than likely, Batman catches him. He ends up in Arkham. End of the movie.
So basically, like
That's what you were hoping for.
so
That's not
basically-
what I was hoping
So basically,
What were you
like,
hoping for?
So basically, like the Batman with Robert Pattinson.
Exactly.
I like that one.
That's what I'm saying, like,
Actually,
that's-
slow as
But
Hold
that's-
on,
but
hold
that's-
on.
but that's
That
what-
movie sucks.
But that's what you were
That
expecting.
movie sucks.
But you were expecting the Joker. But you were expecting.
There goes that line this man says.
But you were expecting the Joker to be like the Batman.
No, I was expecting the Joker to be a regular guy, like he was.
We're talking about like kind of how they portray him in the animated movies, like where it says his origin story, where he's like a regular guy, then he falls in the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was expecting like that shit, and then towards the end of the movie, he falls on that shit, and then you end the movie with him going crazy. But no, the man was already crazy from the beginning of the thing. It had nothing to do with the Joker, nothing at all, but the name.
What do you mean?
It was just so boring. That shit looked like a production team from freaking UCF made that movie. Oh, let's have this scene of him walking. Let's have this scene of him getting beat up on a train. All right. Can you give us a random laugh? Yeah, pretty much. That's what it was.
You gotta be kidding me.
His laugh wasn't even menacing. It was nothing. It was just
You had to create the
just like that.
You had to create the character. It's lit. How do you not understand that?
The
You have to create the
controversy.
character.
The controversy.
Censorship!
Just as the FDA.
They didn't create no character. The character just came with that's all it was. That movie is just straight up bad, dude. Like,
I just don't understand. If you had the opinion of
Joseph, you gotta
I don't
speak up
like
if you need
slow burn movies and I don't like the way that movie paced, then I'm 100% on board with your opinion. But to say it's the worst movie you've ever seen is straight
Was
Stephen A.
one-
Smith blasphemous.
it's one of the worst ones I've seen. One of the most boring movies. If I gotta watch that thing in like 3 parts because I keep falling asleep, it's a movie.
You
It's
you
just-
fell asleep during Oppenheimer.
Don't get me wrong, that shit. I liked it, but it was a little boring.
Now I can understand what he's saying about Oppenheimer.
And it was way too long.
I disagree.
But I liked it.
I like it.
No, I really liked the movie, but I mainly liked it for the effects that they did.
I was entertained.
I'm not gonna lie.
Were you
Yeah, science, Florence Pugh. What else do I need?
Florence Pugh?
No facts.
You were awake for that part?
Nice.
He smelled it. He made sure he was awake for that part.
I remembered the other thing he said now. So he said, and I quote this: Joaquin Phoenix is worse than Jared Leto at being the Joker.
Whoa.
You said.
Let me correct you on what I said.
Okay, go ahead.
I said he's a actor. Bro, for me, it takes a lot out of me.
Did you just say Jack off Phoenix?
Jack of Phoenix. That's what his name. Oh,
Was it Jaqueen or Jack?
No, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
whatever his name is. 100%. It takes a lot out of me, and I hate Jared Leto. His movies suck. His acting sucks.
Just high hopes for Tron there, Joseph.
But
Oh, I forgot he was in Tron.
I prefer Jared Leto
That's a Joker.
as a Joker.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
smoking
nah,
hella penis.
brother.
You are smoking hella penis. That is crazy.
When his whole manifestation is just dancing around like a
What the? You like Jared Leto, who literally was gay? He was bi!
and it was still better than the other dude. So
What are you talking about? This man sat on another dude's lap and said, "You feeling lucky?" Like, are you kidding me?
No, the fact that you hit
maybe
that
he
so
was
well,
feeling
though.
lucky, but the other guy was not feeling lucky.
I'm pretty sure he was soft down there. He wasn't feeling lucky.
How were you though? The man sat on your lap. Maybe he liked it. You don't know. You weren't there. You didn't look at his penis.
The controversy.
I gotta edit this. You're saying Jared Leto's Joker was bad because he wasn't straight?
No.
I'm so confused.
No. Hold
I
on.
didn't watch the movie, so I don't know.
Wait, you never watched Suicide Squad?
Are you
No,
surprised?
no one took me. That was back in high school.
I didn't watch it in the
Was
theater.
it in high school? Dang, that was
Yes.
a long time ago.
It came out senior year.
I watched it in Redbox.
Dang, that was a long time ago.
I wish you didn't say that. I couldn't saw it was actually like 3 years ago. That's what it felt like.
Either way, I'm gonna say this. So no, I don't, because he's bi. I don't think he's the worst Joker. I just think his portrayal of the Joker is not on par with the rest of the Jokers we've had in the past.
You know what I think is funny? They dislike their respective Jokers.
Because they
Wait, who's the best Joker?
For the same reason.
There's only one. For you talking about cinematic?
Who's the best Joker? Yes,
Yeah.
cinematic.
Cinematic,
Well,
yeah.
obviously we know who the best Joker is. It's Mark Hamill.
Well, yeah, 100% animated. Freaking.
Honestly, overall. in my
He's
opinion.
like, well, yeah, but it's easier to do the voice than to actually play the character. Heath Ledger nailed that like. Which is madness. Like the whole movie revolves around the thing. Let's be honest. The only reason The Dark Knight was good is because Heath Ledger.
I agree.
And then that freaking thing, like Christian Bale's okay. It's just Christian Bale's okay. He's not the best
Where is she?
to be
Stiff
portraying
neck.
that.
Oh, stiff neck.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, at least it didn't say Martha. That's all I say.
facts.
That's the,
That's another one.
That was a movie.
oh no, I agree.
I think we can all agree on that one.
Oh no, 100%.
Batman
Do
v
you
Superman.
do you disagree?
Bro, ain't no
If
way.
you watch it as a movie, it sucks. If you watch it like a comic book, I'm entertained.
Oh,
I'm entertained.
Oh, okay.
All right, you're on
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
argue with you now.
What?
You explain that.
No. I'm the Jose with the PH. You argue with the one without the PH.
Nah, you brought it
No,
up.
no, you brought it up. You brought it up.
I
So
was
explain.
entertained.
Okay,
By?
so explain.
By Zack Snyder's take minus Batman killing people, I was entertained with the movie.
Okay, name one thing you were entertained by, specifically.
The movie.
Okay, but name one thing.
Like name specifics.
Like a part.
Let's go specifics.
A part.
If I broke that up into parts, are you okay with Doomsday's portrayal?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so we already.
Were you
one
okay with
negative.
Superman and Batman's fight?
It was okay.
Okay, so what was good? That's like the only two good parts of the movie.
doesn't-
Wonder Woman showing up, that's pretty good to me. I mean,
Not
I
even.
could-
There was like for 2 seconds and then we didn't see her for the rest of the
have
movie.
to be great for me
That
to
was the
be
best
at
part.
least entertained.
She can stick
My
me
favorite
with
part of the
lasso
movie
truth.
was Jeremy Irons' Alfred and his relationship with Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne.
So did you like Lex Luthor's portrayal by this guy? Zombieland? Oh, no, that's not him.
That man was
Yes.
not playing Lex Luthor. That man was playing the Joker in disguise.
Yes
Like-
and no, because
For real. Facts.
like we're so used to all the like direct comic portrayals of these characters, where sometimes if you take it in a different direction, to me I find that refreshing. So I appreciate it.
Specifically about Lex Luthor.
Well, just in general, even with Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
No, I meant specifically for like that movie though. Like
Well,
the
yeah.
only one they could really
I
say
just-
that about is
Like when
my
people take these classic characters and at least try to grow them in a different direction. Because, I mean, realistically, these comics always talk about multiverse this, multiverse that. So, I mean, in a different universe, they would be somewhat different characters opposed to what we are originally accustomed to.
I can understand that.
So, for what's his name?
Besides Doomsday.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg's take on Lex
Was he
Luthor.
Zombieland?
He is zombie.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I always confuse him. And,
Now you see me.
I always confuse him and the dude from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Michael Cera.
Yeah,
You're funny.
Facts.
I always confuse those two. I always think they're the same person.
But like, for instance, my favorite part of his Lex Luthor was that monologue he gave, kind of condescending Superman.
That's my favorite part of the whole movie. That's it.
But like the movie had good moments. Was it executed properly? Yes and no. But I blame that more towards Warner Brothers as the whole company,
Fair enough.
opposed to Zack Snyder's actual like vision, because he had everything planned out. And if you actually look up all the things that he wanted to do, everything was planned out. He had a full vision for what he wanted to execute, but the studio themselves didn't let that plan be executed because they went more for the money route opposed to the actual creative route, which I would think the kind of industry that movies are, you should go with the creative side of it as its focal point, opposed to it just being like, oh, these are the trends that would make other movies money, but it's just like you're trying, like, I look at movies and film as a work of art. How are you going to make money out of art if that's more of like a subjective thing, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So out of 10, what do you give that movie?
Manny always thinks in ratings, bro.
That's what I
No matter
really
what.
want to know, because he said he enjoyed it, but he's naming the flaws with the movie. So obviously that has to take a little bit.
So if it's the director's cut, I give it like a 6.5.
Wait,
The director's cut.
wait. We're talking about Batman vs Superman, sir.
Correct.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the director's cut.
This is direct. That's how.
Yeah, that's an extra. It adds.
I thought the same thing, Jose. I was like, we're not talking about Justice League.
It adds a second, like, or another 20 to 30 minutes to the movie.
So
certain plot points that you see in the theatrical cut, or that you feel like they have it, or they like rush through it, those extra 20 to 30 minutes actually explains how.
Is it spaced out in between, or is it all at the end, like Justice
It's
League?
throughout the whole movie.
Oh, okay, cool. That's better.
So, like, you know, when Lois Lane is doing, like, her investigating or whatever, and then you see Lex Luthor doing his thing, but all the miscellaneous things that you would see are all connected to Lex Luthor.
Oh, okay.
So, like, all those mercenaries you see were exactly all the mercenaries that Batman beat up in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Because Lex
Probably one of the
Luthor had
best
them do
parts.
different things around the world. So you kind of just see more of the foundation of the background of the story reinforcing the main part.
So now that you said the director's cut, the theatrical version is a what?
Probably like a 5. I was very indifferent when I watched it.
That's way too high. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
2, arguably, but.
I give it a 4, just because I like the fighting. With Batman.
When I walked out of the theater, I said,
Like I
this
said,
is-
if you watch it as a
this is
movie,
3.
it sucks. If you watch it like a comic book, just as a fan of these characters, and I watched it in the sense of like, okay, this is a different take, especially for Batman, especially for Lex Luthor.
Is it really a different take for Batman?
I didn't mind the Batman.
Have you ever seen Batman killing people aside
Batman
from
wasn't
like
bad.
Dark Knight Returns?
Like, I didn't really care much about him, but like, I like the fact that he pulled up and just beat the crap out of
Yeah,
everybody.
I took it as the Batman from
For the Flashpoint paradox?
not the Flashpoint
No, heck no.
paradox.
That's way super toned down compared to that, bro.
From the
I was about to say the
Dark Knight Returns.
yeah,
Well, yeah, that's the
I
style. of
didn't
Batman
care no
one.
more. I'm like I'm
That's why I said Thomas Wayne. That's what I was thinking.
nah, bro.
Because Thomas Wayne didn't care.
But,
No, that-
but that's different type of not
Yeah.
caring, though. That is not the same.
Yeah.
He cares a little bit still in this one, just a little bit.
yeah. The other one had enough. The Dark Knight Returns. I don't. I want to see you go against that old man. Who?
All right. No. That's a good transition. That's a good
Wait,
transition.
pause. Before you go transition, I just want to say that the main reason why I didn't like that movie, and I give it like a 3 or 4, is because I actually loved the Batman versus Superman, the animated one, and they made Batman look like a goat, and
Something like the Dark Knight Returns Part 2.
I think
That's
what
the
it is.
animated one.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
when
the
he's like
animated one,
puts a
yeah.
suit on, he's super old, and he beats the crap out
The
of
Dark
him.
Knight Returns Part 2.
Part 2, yeah, and I think about that one.
Yeah, that's where
Like,
the
100%.
fight.
Yeah, right.
No,
So it's just
1,000%.
so like I was fine up until the Martha part. I was like, yeah, nah, it lost me. Like everything up there was like wasn't that
That
bad.
singular woman's name ruined that whole fight.
Yeah, and it wasn't. But I think
I
y'all would
under-
agree with me. Like the fight wasn't bad.
No, it's not
It
bad.
was okay.
It wasn't bad.
It's not Captain America versus
I
heck,
understand.
Captain America and Winter Soldier versus
Heck
Iron Man.
no,
but
no.
like,
Nah.
I understand why you say that, but at the same time, per Batman's character, everything he did, like he made himself go through that because of his parents, and at least having anything reference his parents would shoot directly to the core of his being. That's why I was like, is it like, could they have done something better? Sure.
oh,
But at least in the
100%.
context of how Batman works, I find it justified.
But Batman's not that soft.
That's what I'm
Just to
saying.
hear the name. No.
After, and then to make it worse, you made him soft, and then he went to a warehouse where he was the hardest and coldest
That's what I'm
character of all
saying.
time.
The contradiction
You know
is
what I'm
crazy.
saying?
Yeah, but after you have a Batman, because that Batman was a grizzled Batman, if you're a grizzled individual, at your core, you're not that strong. You're a fractured being. Because how are you going to go through years and years of crime?
But
Because
here's-
you take any cop that's been on the beat for years, that also breaks them down as an
So
individual.
here's the thing. I'm going to argue that with the fact that he's already been Batman for years.
That's literally what I just
Yeah.
said.
But I'm saying that should not be a factor anymore. He would have gone through so much other stuff that was 100 times worse.
Do you understand what PTSD is?
Yes, but look, the problem.
I almost said something mean.
Oh, say it. Say
No,
it.
no, no, the problem-
Shut the up, Frank.
no.
I am talking.
No. The problem, because you're missing the point of what I was trying to say.
Uh-huh.
Because I understand what you're saying, yes.
Okay.
But I just think that the difference and the whole reason why they fight, that it shouldn't have been to kill him in the first place. It should have just been like, bro, whenever I want to, no matter how old I am, I can beat your ass. like that's what it was supposed to be. Like, it don't matter that I'm human with no powers.
See, okay, I would find that agreeable if Man of Steel didn't necessarily have other Kryptonians. Once he saw two of them literally just squaring hands, him as a human had to feel like an ant, literally watching his company fall apart. People that he worked with fall up and just die. Like, how else would he feel?
But like the thing that I'm trying to get to you is that like all of that, yeah, cool. But
the argument faded away from me.
okay, but the thing I understand what you're saying. But like if Batman, the one that has a code that does not kill people, no matter what, to steel himself to do that, and the only thing that stops him is a name, make that make sense. To him to destroy every single foundation of his being in his code for a name to stop him. That didn't even make any sense.
And if he was a
It had nothing to do with anything.
and if he was a broken
Your mom has
person,
the same name. Wow, maybe I should stop. What? Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
He's attracted
I'm
to
telling
Martha.
you, if it doesn't make sense, the only thing that makes it make sense is if he's just a broken person and it just shot to his core.
They ruined such a good fight. That's all I gotta say.
Top tier rage moment.
I'm just saying, if he was broken, things could happen. You as a broken individual, have you made good or bad decisions? If you're blinded as a broken individual, I'm pretty sure you're gonna cause and do things you not normally would do.
So if you're a criminal,
Uh-huh.
and he's whooping your ass, I'd be like, my mom's name's Martha. Will he stop?
If I'm getting my ass, the only way this man's winning if he says Martha, Thomas,
And then he'll be like, huh? And then kick him in the balls. And then
Nah, that's a good transition. That's a good transition. Now, I'm going to make this statement, and I mean it with
Agree to disagree.
100% confidence. I mean it with 100% confidence. I don't care what anybody has to say.
Oh my goodness. I realize what you're saying now.
I can beat Batman in a fight.
Bro.
Here's the thing.
Wait, which
He's-
Batman?
It don't matter.
Okay.
yeah, go up.
He's not wearing, as long as he's not wearing that suit, even if he gives me the suit, like we have each other has a suit, I'll cook him. I will cook him. Batman is the worst when it comes to fighting. There are blind spots to
Bro,
his game.
Your argument is already falling apart.
How is it?
I'm gonna destroy your argument.
He's
No,
the worst
no,
at fighting.
No.
I just said,
what? But I'm the one that's the
hold
outlandish right?
Okay, hold up.
No, this is the most craziest thing he
Hold
says. I'm
up.
not gonna lie.
To reference the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix, you'd be in that asylum because what you're spitting is straight schizophrenic.
Hold up. Pause.
'Cause ain't
pause,
no way.
Pause. That's another thing I got to say about Batman, but I'll keep that for
That he
later.
has
I know what he's
schizophrenia?
gonna say.
I keep that for later because Batman's one of the worst superheroes of all time.
That he actually has a point when he says
That is, he's the cause of so many deaths in in the iteration of Gotham, in like the entirety of Gotham. That man has killed more people than his villains. It's crazy.
Okay, but how are you still beating his?
I'm beating him up. So look at this. Look at this.
The main thing's keep the main thing.
Okay, so we're keeping the main thing. All right. So first off, I'm just gonna predicate this with the fact that I have training in some sorts of mixed martial arts. I know his game.
You sound like a 2-year-old with a black belt.
And this 2-year-old could beat your.
but not Batman's.
But I'll be Batman too.
Not Batman.
So,
Wait, pause. On that note, Frank, you.
Why me? He's the one that said it.
You're just saying I got beat up by a 2-year-old with a black
I'm saying there's a chance with you.
Wow.
There's a chance.
Either way,
Wait. Guest, how do you feel about that?
Outlandish.
he leaned forward and said it in a whisper. It's crazy. So first off, I feel like I could beat him because
Explain yourself.
he's human, man. He's human.
And you're not. You're human too.
Let him finish.
I understand. Hold up.
Let him finish his point.
Hold on. He's gonna get some licks in. He's gonna gonna hit me. Guaranteed. It's gonna be a fight. But I'm beating him at the end of the day. It don't matter if it's Christian Bale, Ben Affleck, anybody else. I'm beating his. I don't care. The villains that he faces have no combat ability. That's all I gotta say. Deathstroke is not that good. Hand combat, he's not that good.
You know, I would put my money down. Let's not go with Batman. You get beat by Robin.
I'll whoop Robin.
Dick
I'll
Grayson.
I'll dog walk
Bro,
him.
but Dick Grayson is the worst one. It's the worst one to get beat by, to go against.
Brad, Dick Grayson isn't even the best Robin. Let's be real.
Who is?
Come on.
Who is?
It's Damian Wayne.
No, it's not.
It's Damian Wayne.
It's definitely.
Who killed who?
It doesn't matter.
Who killed who?
The reason why he
Who
killed
killed
him.
who?
The only reason why he killed him was because Dick Grayson wasn't trying to kill him back.
No,
That's the only
he
reason.
He just hit him with with his own thing, and then he fell on a rock and he broke his neck. That injustice.
Now, you
I
finish
know.
your point, because 20 minutes down the road, there is a mental institution where we will check in. Because this argument is bull.
It's not bull.
Fact.
You know, and the worst part is that, you know, Jose even brought up the fact that, like, Superman with no powers, like, I'm beating him. I'm whooping him.
No,
'Cause
you're
he don't
not.
know how to fight.
No, he does know how to fight.
He doesn't. He lost to Muhammad Ali.
Dude,
Who's Muhammad Ali?
I'll beat Muhammad Ali. like,
What?
Training.
wait, pause. What do you mean who? You don't know who that is?
No, I'm saying like he's
saying-
acting like
no,
that's a terrible person to lose
he's
to.
saying like that. He's saying it in the sense of like
okay.
you're acting like that's a random civilian.
Yes. Like what? And he actually held his own against him
Madness.
for like what? How many rounds?
No, he didn't hold his own. Muhammad Ali whooped him.
Oh no, I'm thinking about the one where he boxed that alien dude.
Yes.
Okay, I'm thinking about the wrong
Yeah,
one.
no, Muhammad Ali whooped him.
But still, it doesn't matter. You would get whooped by Muhammad Ali.
Give me training.
Oh my
Give me a
goodness.
little bit more.
No,
boxing.
No. You're making this argument as is. Because ain't no way you're
As
going to
is,
kick.
Guess what? I last about 5 rounds with Muhammad Ali.
Oh
in his
my
prime.
goodness.
Oh my god! But
The only way you lasted 5 rounds is if he dodged you the whole time.
He ain't dodging me, bro. He ain't
That's the only
dodging
way
me.
you
Oh
lasted
my
5
God.
rounds.
Stop it. It's terrible.
bro.
but at the beginning
You know
of
what-
this,
you know what the worst
I'm the
part
one
is?
gonna say outlandish. But you hear this. You hear this.
You know what the worst part is you guys downplay yourselves because I believe you can do it too.
Okay.
That's the worst part.
Okay,
I
look,
feel
look.
like you downplay yourself.
No. The only way I'm winning against Batman, if I'm shooting myself, because I'm not giving him the luxury of him beating me. I beat me. That is how I win.
He's like,
you
it's
lo-
a tie.
You lost to a 2-year-old wearing a black belt.
Wait a second. Nah, you're done. We get your point already. But
Yeah,
look,
delusional.
100%.
Not even close.
when you got a man,
Knee.
no. When you got a man, aka Bruce Wayne, whenever I saw the way he actually trained to become Batman, like before he became Batman, I guarantee you, everyone here would not be able to do half the stuff he did.
I'll do it.
No, you wouldn't.
I'll do it.
No, you wouldn't.
I'll do it.
No, you wouldn't.
Name something I can't do.
Bro, he punched a rock barehanded for more than 24 hours.
I'll do it.
No, you won't.
I'll do it.
No, you won't.
We'll test this theory on the
Okay.
triple take.
Hold
24
up,
hours.
hold
Bring it up.
You
Bring
know-
up the subs, and I will do that. 24 hours of me punching a rock. I will have a camera in front of me, and I will
Bro,
do it.
not even karate people do that. The
The
most it would
way-
go is bamboo. They would
The
not punch a rock.
I'll do it.
The way Batman one punch Guy Gardner, right?
Oh my goodness.
Are you talking with or without the ring?
I don't care. Either which way.
Without the ring, that's not that impressive.
And you're just a man.
And guess what? I'll whoop Guy Gardner too. Stop playing with me.
Bro, the amount of superpowered people
Stop
that
playing with me.
Batman
Without
beat-
the ring? I mean,
No,
I'll beat him
no.
up.
Bro,
This
but
is why you should be a politician. Why? Because you lying out your
100%.
Bro, but the way that Batman
Trump.
beat people that were superpowered, that's crazy. the way he beat people that were superpowered, like without even trying, and this man saying him, a regular person with barely any martial arts training, compared to him, is gonna win. Like, but I guarantee you, him against Bane, he gonna have to change his underwear, brother.
Brother.
But this is
Wait,
Batman
Are you
beating.
saying Bane with the Venom?
Yes,
You're saying I have to 1v1 him?
yes,
I have the suit.
yes.
I'll do it.
No, but you would lose. Batman lost too. What?
You're
Twice, multiple times.
Okay, hold up. Compared
has
to like
lost to him
compared to
before.
Batman, you ain't coming back from a back injury, bro. You're
That's
not-
the way it's written.
Yeah, that's Batman.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. No, let's be real.
Let's be real.
Let's be real.
Let's be real, because you know for dang sure if it was real, he ain't coming back from that either.
Let's be real. That's how Batman's story's written. Your story is not being written that way. Trust and
I
believe,
can be a
buddy.
fictional character. It's not that hard.
Nah, this whole
He's human.
this whole episode's delusional. This is fictitious.
There was a warning at the beginning. Of
It's
this.
only delusional because of this guy.
Like, I believe you can be Batman. It's not hard.
It's not hard.
I could put him in Smash Brothers or Mario Kart. That's about it. If all four of us go against this man, 3 seconds, he's knocking us out. All four of us.
No suit.
I think okay. So I think we should just shelf this topic because like obviously it's going nowhere. So Manny thinks he can. We think he cannot.
Everybody-
Obviously, we know who's delusional
Put a
here.
poll in the chat.
No.
Can Manny beat Batman?
We're obviously
Without the suit.
with no hands, with his hands tied behind his hands, or his
hands
back.
behind his hands.
His hand. That's how. See, I gave him a speak straight because all his shenanigans. Even with his hands tied behind his back, only legs alone, he'll you up.
I'll tie my hand behind my back. I'll still mess him up.
Yo, like
What are we talking about?
this guy.
There are things I should
But
say,
cheekbones hurt.
but I can't.
Either way, I just wanna
And then with this.
end it with this point. The reason I call Batman the worst superhero
Oh,
of
yeah,
all
facts.
time is because of that point that you made earlier. He beats up his villains and then sends them to Arkham. They break out of Arkham. They go kill people. And he is, in a way, responsible for that. Because he doesn't want to break his moral code or anything like that.
But
yet, Spider-Man on the other side, when he puts away his villains, they're done for a long period of time. They don't come out the next day.
Okay, look.
you-
At that point,
there's
I
only one
blame the government or whoever's running Arkham because
Yeah.
at some point you gotta euthanize.
No,
some
but I'm
people.
not gonna lie.
But that's on Batman. That's on Batman.
No,
Because
No.
Bruce Wayne-
He locks them
Bruce
up. They
Wayne-
could decide to just do it themselves.
Here's the thing. Remember, Bruce Wayne Enterprises is literally the foundation of Gotham. This man has money that he could use to basically upgrade more than he could turn Gotham into Metropolis.
All right, but let's be honest here. Between New York, Spider-Man, and Gotham is like 80% corrupted compared to Spider-Man.
Okay. Okay, so with that point, here's the thing. Do you think a Spider-Man would clean up Gotham?
Dude, you already got a concussion. We're done. This conversation.
I mean that's different because he has powers.
Yeah.
It don't matter.
Yes, it does.
Because guess what? Most people say that Batman is better than Spider-Man. So if
No.
he's better,
I don't agree.
if I put Batman up against Spider-Man's villains,
He's not gonna win.
he's not winning.
No, he's not. Sinister Six is over. That man's retiring.
But if I put Spider-Man in Gotham, Spider-Man is beating up all of them.
Because he got superpowers.
yeah.
And he's fast as
When did that matter? When did that matter?
No, because the thing is, you're missing a lot of dynamics when it comes to Gotham.
When did that matter?
Yeah, you gotta think. You're
To
missing,
Batman, when did that matter?
Okay, but you're missing a lot of dynamics when it comes to Gotham. I'm not gonna lie. Like even with Jim Gordon as the commissioner, like they still like have hella corrupted cops, and like people corrupted in Arkham, crazy people. Just look at Hugo Strange.
I'm just saying.
But but I understand what you're saying that he could at least up the security in the place, which is true
by himself.
by himself, which is true. Which is why I agree with you a little bit. And like I think the moral code is important because he's obviously not the law and he knows that, right? But and
I'm
he's
not saying
and one
for
man
him-
shouldn't
I'm not-
decide anybody's fate. That's
I'm
what
not
he thinks.
saying. I'm not saying, and I agree with that point.
Okay.
I'm not saying that he should go out and
Murk people.
murder the Joker, murder the Penguin, just murder all of them.
So then it will only have to be controlled by Bruce Wayne.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's saying he shouldn't do that.
So nobody could go in and out but Bruce Wayne
Of what?
of Arkham. If he does it,
No, because you know how
how
Spider-Man, like when they pull like let's say the Scorpion away, they got hella locks on them, can't move, stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're in a cell made specifically for that. But with all the corruption and like that, there's always somebody that will help them break out or some. They don't do it on their own.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Every time you say that, I always think of Marvel Rivals. Here's the thing.
So when it comes to the corruption inside of Gotham, that is for him to clean up. When Spider-Man fought against the Kingpin, when the Kingpin was the mayor, and he had more than half the city corrupt,
That's
he
true.
still managed to clean up the entire city and get Kingpin.
Look, the only corruption.
Granted, he needed help
Yeah.
with Daredevil, but he did it.
the only
Acting like Batman don't have help.
I mean, he got a whole family.
He got a whole family. And that man is a worse father than Goku. That's all I gotta say. Because at least if Goku sent Gohan to go fight Cell, but Batman let Jason Todd become the worst person possible, he let Damian Wayne become a corrupt League of Assassins?
Yeah.
League of Shadows?
League of Shadows. That's his son.
Yeah, but that's a whole different storyline. It's not all in the same storyline. It's all different timelines.
Brother, there are so many iterations of where Batman has lost his Robin, or the Robin is like literally paralyzed. Batwoman,
Batgirl.
Yeah.
the Batgirl.
He says
I
Robin, but he means sidekick.
I meant Oracle, but what is Oracle?
He means sidekick.
This man has let the Joker rip their faces off. That's a comic, by the way, where he literally serves them their face, and Batman's just stuck there watching because he wasn't keeping track of his kids, because he considers them his kids.
Look. Main thing is,
You can't be Batman.
exactly. You
I
can't be
can.
Batman. The
I
only
can.
corruption we need to talk about
Is the corruption that's inside my head? Sure.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
because it's rotting.
And the man said, at least Batman gives him a home and spends some time with them, trains them.
They got a butler.
What does Goku do? Yo, Piccolo. I got
go-
another offspring. You
Brother,
want
he
him?
gave him a stepfather. What do you want?
Stepfather.
Yeah, no.
Step. Not an uncle.
He
a
shoved,
whole other dad.
he shoved somebody else with responsibility. I don't want to train him.
Without-
He took care of Goten.
I mean, like, hey, I don't
He
have
took care of Goten.
I don't have to. When?
He took care of him.
When?
Mr. Popo did that.
Either way, are
Wait,
you
what?
trying to argue
Wait,
that
what?
Batman is is not a
Way
worse
better
father
than Goku?
No, I'd
Oh.
rather be Goku's son than be Batman's son.
Okay.
I've never seen Goku play basketball with his son. At least Batman played basketball with Damien.
And guess what? What happened to Damien? He got his face ripped off,
So, at least they came back.
and then he served to him in
Oh
a
no,
soup.
Goku has only spent like 2 days with his kids.
I'd rather be Goku's son.
No.
All
He
right.
doesn't even know. He
For the
never,
power
Answer that.
boost,
No,
yes.
no, answer that, Frank.
he never kissed his wife.
I think they're both terrible fathers.
That's
Oh,
no,
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 no.
no, 100%. We're nobody's denying that.
100%.
Nobody's
Goku's the
denying
worst. I'm like, this man is like, my wife is pregnant. Gohan's killing this guy. I don't really have to kill myself, but hey, I want to train. I'm out of here. I don't want to deal with this little kid anymore.
Answer that, and then the audience answer that. Would you rather be Batman's son or Goku's son?
Goku's for the power boost. It's a lot cooler powers than Batman, that's for sure.
You talking about? You get unlimited money. You get a suit.
No.
Yeah, let's be
Who the
honest.
is gonna stop me in the Dragon Ball universe?
Let's be honest.
Cell.
No. In the Dragon Ball universe,
Frieza.
in the Dragon Ball universe, I don't gotta worry about money.
Oh,
money.
hold on.
100%. My
I got
the
Titi Boma.
Exactly.
But let's be honest. Like, if you really think about it, I actually agree with them that Goku's the worst father. Just because of the fact that he's kind of carried by the fact that he has Chi-Chi, Bulma, and the fact that they're Saiyans. So literally, like, nothing but like a crazy threat will kill him, or to rip their face off. Whereas Batman, if he had any of those things, they would have been fine.
Okay, so we're just not gonna mention the multiple times that they've been captured, tortured.
We're done.
Okay, well,
we're
so I'm
done.
saying,
We're
like,
done.
But that
What's
would
the next take?
But that would have never happened if they were in the same situation. Like, I'm talking about if you put them in the same situation,
Oh, like Goku.
exact situation.
Like Goku.
Goku's
is Batman?
worse. Yes, Goku's worse.
This conversation's
Goku's Batman
making
and
me
Batman is
delusional.
Goku.
Yeah, Goku's worse.
I don't think so.
Why?
Oh Jesus.
I don't think so.
Because think about wait. But think about Damien and all them if they were not even trained.
He would have trained them.
Oh no, he wouldn't have.
Yeah.
When did he train his sons?
There's been multiple iterations where Alfred trains.
No. I'm saying does Goku train his sons?
When does
Only once.
Goku train?
Only
his son?
once.
He's trained them once.
Only Gohan.
He trained Goten.
When?
I'm pretty sure in the Majin
No.
Buu saga.
No.
And Majin
That was
Buu Saga, the only training he gave him is fusion. That's it.
No, but that was Piccolo. Still,
No, that was Goku who
At
taught
the,
the
at the
fusion.
end of the day,
I know, but Piccolo's the one that watched over them to make sure they did it right.
Yeah.
So he trained them.
everybody's got to have
Hey,
their
yo, do
Alfred or
this.
Piccolo.
All right, bye.
That's what I'm saying. Because technically, Alfred was the stepfather in a sense. Alfred and Piccolo share the same role because they didn't really like. They looked at Bruce Wayne as a father. They looked at Batman as a father, but it's just they had Alfred that was really the moral compass.
Dude, 3 against 1. Goku's worse.
No,
He
Batman's
he-
worse.
He says Batman's
I
worse.
don't care. we're moving on to the next argument because I'm getting delusional.
Are you starting to become crazy?
Yeah, because I could beat Batman. Yeah, like I'm a dumb.
His network connections are.
Bro, he
are
said
failing.
he literally said that Batman will
Dude,
get
dude,
whooped.
dude. I have
by
a
any
concussion,
UFC fighter.
and I have a concussion,
100%.
and I've just been sitting here.
100%.
What'd you say?
He said you could put Batman. I told him you could put Batman in a ring with UFC people, and he'll whoop all of them. He's like, nah.
Nah,
All right.
Okay.
he's not beating the
I think
best.
we're
Have
done
you,
now.
have you
He's
ever
not beating
seen
the
that?
best.
Have you ever seen that movie with Jet Li and DMX?
Yes.
Yes, that's Batman. When that scene happens with Jet Li wrecking everybody, that's Batman. Right there. That's exactly what will happen if it was Batman in there. That's all I gotta say.
That's crazy work.
What's the next topic on the list?
Jet Li can do it, but not Batman. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, speaking of UFC fighters, this man
Oh, that's a good
on
transition.
record has said that the best boxer can beat the best UFC fighter in a street fight. Now, obviously weight comes into play. I disagree with that statement 100% because there are boxers in the UFC that get whooped because they don't have the grappling nor do they have the submission technicality that these UFC fighters have.
You know why? Because they're not the best.
This man. Ooh. I'm just going to say this real quick, and then you can say your point. What is a boxer going to do when the UFC fighter picks him up and slams him? What is he going to do?
I still think the boxer has better footwork than the UFC guy.
I mean, that's actually true.
I would say
I can agree with that.
It's not like he's freely gonna let him. He's gonna swing at him.
to answer your point. What is he gonna do if he ain't a? You get back up,
Facts.
and
He
at
ain't
that point, it's really 50-50.
No, because at the end of the day, if a trained UFC fighter, he's gonna bring him to the ground,
Yeah, but-
and he's going to
But he has to grab him first.
literally pick him apart,
Okay.
part by part.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem is you're assuming that they're gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, and you're assuming
Not
you're-
only that, I'm just
you're making
I'm
it
just- I'm-
seem
I'm-
like
I'm only
100% of the
saying one
time.
aspect of the game. I'm only saying one aspect of the
I
game.
know, which is their weakest point as a boxer.
But either way, striking ability, a UFC fighter can measure up to a boxer.
No,
The striking ability can measure up.
no.
Yes.
The only thing they got over
You
the boxer
saw it with Francis
is the kicks.
Ngannou. Francis Ngannou.
Okay, no, wait, hold up a second. That is a special case, my guy. That man built like a nobody. Like that man's innate.
But you act like he was going up against somebody that wasn't his same weight, same class, everything.
Bro, but I guarantee you the other guy did not punch as hard as him. I guarantee you.
Tyson Fury?
I guarantee you he did not punch as hard as him, bro. I guarantee you, bro. That man, they literally measured his punch and is literally like getting hit by a truck going 40 miles per hour.
And guess what? What happened? He knocked down Tyson Fury. Most people believe that Ngannou won that fight.
Okay.
Brother.
Footwork, everything. If you're saying a boxer should have more footwork, be more experienced in just straight hand-to-hand
But
combat.
bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, no matter who you are, no matter how much technique you have, if you get hit by a guy that hits hard as crap,
Okay.
you're gonna lose. Like, that's just what it is. That's just the nature of fighting in general.
So
No matter how good you are,
So
if you
my-
get knocked the crap out of by a guy that punches like a literal truck, you're going down.
So my point to that is Ngannou and Fury in that fight, Ngannou had more total punches. He was more significant strikes. He had more everything across the board. So where does that play a factor?
What?
He hit him more times and he didn't go down.
Who, Tyson Fury?
Yes, but then when he got him clean, he went down.
Got Ngannou clean?
Ngannou got Fury clean, like a real clean one, and he knocked him down.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about Tyson Fury, considered one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yes.
They're both same weight. Because one of the arguments Jose had was...
So who had
they
the
have
most
to
strikes
be-
again?
Ngannou.
Okay.
And the only reason Fury won that fight is because boxing's corrupt. That's the only reason.
Oh, 100%.
And they don't want a UFC
Mostly.
fighter to beat one of the greats of all time. That's why Ngannou ended up fighting another person that was lower on the same division. Ngannou...
But this is like really old Tyson Fury, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but this is an old Ngannou too. They were roughly around the same age. So I'm just making it so that striking aspect of it, yes, there's a gap, but it's not that big.
But you gotta realize the fact that fighting isn't all just technique and like who's better. Sometimes somebody just gets lucky.
At that
Of
point,
course.
it's
Okay.
really up to chance. And even
Yeah,
if
it's really
you're going
mostly-
off
But
the
if I'm-
argument
but
out
okay.
of just one fight, or like you talking about in general?
I'm talking about in general. In general, I believe the UFC fighter will beat the boxer more times than the boxer would beat the UFC fighter.
Okay, yeah, but that's off a chance. Not every fight is the same, even if it's the
Of
same
course.
person training.
But we're talking street fight. We're talking a street fight. Anything goes.
Okay.
They're gonna have
If
their
anything
kicking
goes,
ability.
then the UFC fighter could also lose.
Of course.
Same thing for the boxer. To me, it's just a 50-50. At least you're talking about an actual fight. You against Batman, that's a straight.
Exactly. From me to him. Thank you. I appreciate that. Point.
You're saying you're
Yeah,
basically
okay.
I
saying-
appreciate it. No, shut up.
You're
gonna
basically-
get
you're
dragged.
You're basically saying that the boxing fighting style is inferior to the MMA fighting style.
In a sense, when it comes to a street fight,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
If-
Obviously, within the rules of boxing, the boxing style
the
wins.
boxer
Yeah,
has
but-
the advantage, and the boxer most likely should beat the UFC
Okay.
fighter in most occasions.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is I disagree with that. Because you're just assuming that the kicking is going to be a detriment. That's not always the case.
What? Okay, so I'm confused.
Because like
I
you-
agreed with your point, and you just said you disagreed with the point you made.
No, I know, but you're saying that
You heard that,
but
right?
What do you? I said you said that the boxing style is inferior in a street fight. I'm saying I disagree with that. That's what I said. How was that wrong?
Okay, go ahead.
Nah, this Batman kicked these.
Okay, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Guess what? No, you didn't. Stop it.
Okay, so
You're lying to
I'm
yourself.
saying I disagree with that fact.
Oh, wait, pause. I do not lie, and you know that.
Guess what?
No,
You just did.
never.
Welcome to 2025.
Because you're just assuming that like the boxer's gonna be like, oh, he's kicking, I don't know what to do. Like they're gonna know what to do.
Of course.
So it's just like,
I'm not saying like once they use their legs, it's like, oh no, what am I gonna do? Obviously,
Yeah, so it's
they're
just
gonna
like-
know what to do because, like I said before, there are boxers that are specified in boxing that have been in professional boxing that are now MMA fighters. Some of them are successful because they ended up learning the different styles and all that stuff. But we're talking about when he made the argument was that it's a boxer only versus a UFC fighter only. You know what I'm saying? Not one that's gone to the other side. You know what I'm saying?
I know that.
So
The way this was supposed to be a Jose episode, and it really just feels like a Manny episode.
oh, this is a Manny episode. This is my episode.
So what do you think?
I already said it, but I put my bet on the boxer just because he has fancier footwork than the UFC fighter.
I just say it's 50-50. It don't matter.
Like I think the boxer knows how to punch better. He knows how to move his body better. The only thing the UFC got against the boxer is just the kick because they.
And I guess the elbows.
Because they train. Yeah,
Grappling.
yeah, but they train. It's not gonna be easy to grab the boxer. This man, if all you're going is for grabs, gonna knock you out. That's all I gotta say.
That's actually true.
Beep.
Well, it depends on how they grab you because there's a certain
No,
way
I
to where-
didn't say if you're. I said if all he's trying to attempt to do is grab the boxer, because he thinks that's his only way to win, he's gonna get knocked out. He's not gonna get to grab.
He's saying he's gonna have to like do some stand up with him first.
He's
Of course.
his face is gonna be wide
And
open.
I think they can survive that stand up. I think it's not gonna be like a straight up just the boxer flies at him and he's not gonna be able to do anything. They're trained for that as well.
No, I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I put my money. If it was a fight like that, I put my money on the professional boxer instead of the UFC fighter.
I'm the same. Maybe I'm influenced by Hajime no Ippo, but who knows? Who knows?
So I just think they
influenced by
got
Baki.
fancier footwork. They're
By what?
faster.
By Baki.
Hey,
Yeah, okay. At least
no.
Hajime no Ippo's a little bit more realistic.
Hey, no.
Hey, no, okay. I think. Well, first of all, like in boxing, like the boxing is actually like way to a higher standard than what you're saying. Because Muhammad Ali is actually in that.
I just think when I think of somebody who's the same way, when I say Mike Tyson going up against John Jones, I'm gonna take John Jones.
in their prime.
Both of them in their prime, yeah, I'm gonna take.
No
I'm gonna
cheating?
take John Jones.
Oh no, it's a street fight.
And
No cheating. They both cheated. Both of them did steroids.
and let me
No, not that. I'm talking about John Jones be poking people's eyes.
and mind you that a lot of the UFC fight videos that you see and shit like that is people taking kicks to the face or or punches to the face, they get instantly knocked out. Mind you, boxers are always blocking. It will hurt their hands or their arms or whatever, but their most secure plays that they're trained to block is the face.
I'm just gonna use this as an example. Max Holloway, he's a UFC fighter. He's first a boxer. He's a very successful UFC fighter. Very successful. He went up against Ilia Topuria, who specializes in striking, but not boxing level striking. And when they stood up striking, Ilia Topuria knocked him out. I'm just using that as an example. And Max Holloway was a professional boxer. I just think it's crazy to think that the boxer is going to dominate when the UFC fighter has all aspects of the game. Yes, Joseph's right. It is a 50-50 because at the end of the day, the boxer could easily knock out the UFC fighter
100%.
and that the game's over. But same goes both ways.
Yeah, but
But
it's the fact that
if my money's on the line, and it's a street fight, I'm putting my money on the UFC fighter.
no, you put it is a fact that when we talk about this argument, your point of view is no way the boxer can win. To you, is a 0% chance.
And I agree. I'm not taking back that statement.
See,
So did you not just say Joseph's right is 50-50?
Yeah, but in my opinion, it's like Joseph's
Yeah,
right.
this is-
I'm saying it like this. You're right in the sense of anybody can get a lucky hit. Blah 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 blah.
In sense of
But
life, I'm right. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, but in my world, he's winning.
where he can be Batman.
Oh,
I can't
God.
be Batman. I'll repeat that till the day I die.
He also says he could be Mike Tyson, by the way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Prime Mike Tyson.
Yo,
Prime Mike Tyson. Give me
Nah,
12
you're gonna come out of that-
weeks.
you're
Give me
gonna-
12 weeks with the best boxing training camp of all time.
Now I'll give you 3 years.
Give me 3 years, and I'll knock out Mike Tyson.
Now I ain't gonna lie, 12 months
And
isn't
as
enough. You have
soon-
to train your body for
As
longer.
soon
than
as that
Look at
fourth
that. Well,
year
you give me the
starts,
training. I literally put
next
on that.
day comes back to me with no ears.
No, 100%.
Because he might bite him off.
Like, he's like, you
have
beat me,
ears for
you can have my
breakfast."
ears. All you see at the end of the match is Mike Tyson fisting on that.
Any other takes?
All right, the last one. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm probably on the minority here, but I think that movie is not as good as people say it is. I think it's the weakest one out of the three.
I can agree with that.
No, 100%, but it wasn't bad.
I think it was easily like a 6 out of 10, maybe a 5.
Nah, I wasn't a 5.
I think it's a very fun movie. Either which way.
Yeah,
is it the
that's-
best one? No. Is it fun? Yeah.
That's literally what the movie is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a fun movie. This man takes it as he has to be like Winter Soldier.
Is that
No.
Is
Because Guardians of the Galaxy and Guardians
that
of
the
the
one
Galaxy
with the
Volume
blue
3 are
whistle
in my
guy
top
died?
10.
that the one with the blue whistle guy died?
Yes, that's where Yondu dies.
I'll give it like a good 7.
It's pretty solid.
I disagree. I just think that like the story itself isn't good at all.
Honestly, the only part that was bad was the dad.
Yeah, the ego
That's the only
ego is terrible in that movie.
Yeah, it was.
part. That's the only thing that was bad about it.
The whole
One of the
Mantis-
one of the top 10 lines in the MCU. Yes, I have a penis.
I mean,
Me die.
yeah, it was funny, but it's just like, what's it called? But like in terms of the story, like when it got serious, I didn't care.
You didn't care that he gave his mom
and
cancer?
that is
mean,
one of the
that
most
part was
vital
crazy.
parts. That is one of the most
But like
vital
I knew
parts of the movie,
that
and
from
it
the
fell flat.
beginning. I knew that was the begin. I knew that from the beginning that he did that.
And this is my,
And I don't know nothing about that guy.
In
I'm
my
just saying,
opinion-
based off the movie, I already knew like that he was behind everything. Like I already knew that.
In my opinion,
No impact at all.
If the biggest part of the movie falls flat, you can't say it's a good movie.
Is the fact that
I never
can't
said it
say-
was a good movie. I said it was a fun movie.
No, I'm saying that's me. I'm just making that point. I was just looking at you.
So you feel the same way about
Why you
Captain
feel?
America?
Why you getting so self-defensive?
Because clearly some of your opinions and your justification for such opinion boil down to, but it's me.
In my world.
I will be Batman. In my world.
I would.
So you feel the same way
in
about
the real
Captain
world?
America?
What, Captain America?
Yeah.
No, Captain America beats Batman.
No, Brave New World.
What?
What?
Did you just? Ooh, on the next episode of the Triple Take.
no powers.
What? No power. But then you take away the super soldier serum from him.
That's what he's saying.
The only way Captain America will be Batman is because of super serum. That's it.
Are you on the next episode of the Triple Take? I can't do this
No,
right now.
no,
I
I'm
can't do this right now.
saying, do you feel the same way about Brave New World? Do you think that it fell flat at the end?
Did it fall flat at the end? I disagree. I think I like the impact that that movie had.
I know, but the climax was the Red Hulk.
The climax was the Red Hulk, yes, and I enjoyed it.
Okay.
That I like that aspect of the movie.
So you think you didn't like the fact that what's his name, Yondu?
Yondu's death should have been more impactful.
Okay, now he's desensitized.
In my opinion.
He did. I think it's the fact that one was about death and the other one was about emotion.
Where did the growth in Star-Lord come from when Yondu dies? Where did it go?
Because he realized that was his actual dad.
No, where did it go? In the next movie, where did it go? It didn't.
It changed.
It didn't.
As a person.
He just moved on.
I mean, yeah, that's what you do.
Yeah, it's a fatherly figure.
Yeah.
The person that had the most impact was the dude that ended up taking the mantle.
I mean,
What are you talking about? In the third movie, he decides to go back to Earth to find his grandfather.
Yeah, that's how it connects.
After what happens, Joseph?
After his family breaks apart, and he goes after
his family breaks apart. Not Yondu.
Sure
that has nothing to do with Yondu.
I'm sure that
and it
aspect
helped him become a better leader. I don't know, your justification for me
No,
up.
because you're answering your own question.
I mean, but like,
Don't get mad because you're answering your own question.
Because you're saying they didn't follow it up, but in the actual movie itself, like the whole point is that he wants to be like, oh, like I'm with my dad. I'm finally gonna see my dad. But then he realized like, oh, that just because he's my blood,
and that
doesn't mean just because he's my blood dad doesn't mean anything. Yondu was my real dad.
Sure.
And mind you, on the third one, he almost died because of the gift John Doe gave him, which was the Soon.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Sure.
You're gonna say sure? It's like it's a fact. That had meaning because of who he came from. So he almost died because of that.
I just think it should have been more impactful.
I understand.
And I think
definitely they flopped. I think they flopped on the ego part.
I think that part.
Yeah, it was a terrible villain the way they did it.
Mantis was more impactful than Ego.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah, of course, Mantis is goated.
The comedy in it is great.
Always is.
The music's great.
Always is.
The setting's great.
Always is.
The story
movie.
missed.
Yep. Probably the best looking one
The story missed.
out of the Guardians of the
And
Galaxy.
that's what I went to go see. I went to see the Guardians of the Galaxy story.
So watching the
And-
movie, you
and
didn't
it
have a good
missed.
time?
Did I have a good time? No. I've watched that movie about 4 times. And each
4
time,
times.
yeah,
Why?
because
I only watched it once.
it takes me longer to digest a movie more than most people. So that way I can look at all aspects of the game.
I think you just have different criteria than me.
It's just a matter of opinion. I could be wrong.
Okay, so
I could be wrong.
That's the
but
first time you ever said that this whole podcast.
Look. With everything that's been
Episode.
said throughout this entire thing, I could be wrong.
Besides,
But I don't think I'm wrong.
So question.
beating Batman.
No, Batman is getting whooped. Bruce Wayne,
Question.
meet
real
me
quick.
meet me in the hallway, meet me in the dark alley. I'll whoop you any day of the week.
What would you give
Quote Manny
Volume 2?
2025.
1 to 10. Volume 2.
I told you
A 5?
6, maybe a 5.
Brave New World.
I said it was an 8. I like Brave New World more than I like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
But that part I think is just opinion.
But Guardians
but
of the Galaxy and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3
But
are
you're
9 and
talking about
9.5s
story.
out of 10.
The story of Brave New World had nothing to do with Captain America.
I disagree with you. I disagree with you.
That we
All right.
disagree on.
Brother, that was, goddamn well, that movie was straight up for the Hulk. I don't know why they put Captain America. The villain was everything was
How was the leader booty? You know what? We don't got time for that. You will be back. There will be a part 2.
the leader was. Oh my god.
Do you guys even want a part 2?
Yes.
After this hour of nonsense.
Granted, it's going to be a pain in the to edit.
Yeah, like,
but
how much do you hate Joseph to make him edit this again?
I'm not saying that. He almost made me say it.
Oh.
Our last point is no,
Nah.
I'm not doing that.
it was just a joke.
Oh, we didn't even talk about everybody being sensitive.
Oh yeah, facts. Yeah, it's all right.
Next.
Part 2. Jose will be back.
See you in 4 months.
I'll see you in 4 months.
After all that, after all this BS that has been done for about an hour and give or say some minutes, this has been the Triple Take. I'm Manny.
I'm Frank.
I got to edit this. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Jose.
Yeah, we want to thank Jose for
We want to
joining us
thank Jose for coming down
and showing the side of Manny.
and showing how pissed off he could possibly make me.
And how pissed off Manny
Your
can make me.
shenanigans?
How pissed off Manny can make me.
So please let us know who really sits on a throne of lies,
That's an easy one.
on the throne of delusion, on the throne of. Please let us know in the comments.
Peace.